Video is for learning how to use Zoom for your professional work, meeting with clients online. Just as an example, you might do a listing presentation online. You might just do it as one step before you meet them in person, especially because we are in COVID, so it might be a little bit safer as an option. So I'm just going to run through some simple ways to get a better sense of how Zoom works. First of all, of course, you're going to want to download Zoom. If you haven't yet, it's zoom.us. If you've been coming to all the events, you probably already have it downloaded, but just so you know, it's zoom.us. So when you click on the icon, this is what you're going to see. There's a couple different options that you can do here. You can actually schedule your appointments. This just helps to kind of simplify your organization. And then let's say I'm just making a test, and right now it's going to be for 4:30, so in 4 minutes for me. You'll see that when I schedule it, it'll pop up my calendar to connect to. You don't actually have to do that, but if you want to, you can. And then you'll see that it actually tells me I have a meeting in 4 minutes, so that's a little bit helpful. You can also just go over to meetings, and you'll see that test is again, right? So once that happens, you can copy the invitation and you can share it with whoever it is that you're meeting with. So you might use WhatsApp chat, for example. You could also go on Gmail, right? So you might copy and paste the meeting. That's how that works. Once you're ready to start it, of course, you would click start. Once it starts, some options here. Make sure you want to check that your audio is working. You see that the green bar is going up and down as I speak, so that's a good thing. If there's any issues with your audio, it'll help to go onto this little triangle and just to make sure that you've selected, you can play around with your different options for speaker and microphone, right? You can also test speaker and microphone just in case you're having some trouble. It's up to you whether you want to start or stop video. That's the button there to do so, right? You can choose a virtual background, a video filter. So that's what that looks like. Once somebody that you've invited is in, you'll notice that the participants will change to 2. Clicking on it will also show you who else is there, right? So a very helpful feature to have on Zoom is the share screen. Another option is also the record button. This is very helpful. Let's say if your clients, let's say it's a husband and wife and the husband is working, so we're recording it so that he can catch up with it later, just if you like. Once you do record, you will want to upload it to YouTube and make it a private listing. I can follow up on that if anybody has any questions. So this is how the share screen button works. You'll see that it gives you some options once you press it as to what you can share. I would just stick with desktop 1. Keep in mind that when you use desktop 1, that they will be able to see everything on your screen. So just make sure anything that you don't want seen is not on your screen, just so that it's kept clean and professional or whatever's important to you, right? So let's say I want to show a presentation that is on my Google Drive. I can go directly to my Google Drive and find the project that I'm looking for. So let's say that I am interested in going over an 8 Wellesley brochure. I can type it in the upper bar, right? Or I could go the long way as well. But how it would work is, let's see if we can find a brochure. I don't think there is a brochure for this one, but let's say we want to show this one, right? So I would double click it and I would have that open. So if you want, you can always have all of the things that you want to show beforehand already open so that it's seamless, right? That way you can just click through showing what it is that you want. So that's that. I think that's about it. Let's see here. One other thing that is helpful if you're doing something more educational, I can't see us maybe using this too much with real estate, but just in case, you can actually draw. So let's say I wanted to highlight something that was really important. As I'm talking about it, I could always just underline a heading, right? Once I'm done, I can clear it. And then once I don't want to annotate, just in case you're curious, is an X button. So now I'm no longer annotating. This will help me stop the share. Just in case you want to also be able to, let's say you want the person you're meeting with to also share their screen. How do we do that? You have this triangle here again. And then you can put multiple you would advance sharing options. And you'd want to make it who can share? All participants. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? Only host or all participants, up to you. and then we'll close there. So that way you should be able to do so. So that's about everything. When you are done, you will end the meeting and end the meeting for all. Make sure you don't just stop your video, because the meeting will continue and the other person will be able to hear everything you're saying. So what you want to do is definitely end the meeting. Okay? So that pretty much sums it all up. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks so much.